Romans 10:9 in the KJV states that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
In a cozy house in Canada, the sun was streaming through the living room window, casting a warm glow over the carpet. 6-year-old Tatum sat mesmerized by her favorite cartoon nearby. 9-year-old Caden was at the small dining table, shoveling his dinner into his mouth as fast as he could. It was a warm, happy evening, and they were the best of friends. Caden was in such a rush to get back to his computer. He had a new level to beat in Fortnite, and every second spent eating felt like a second wasted. Mom, whose name was Ilka, shook her head. "Slow down, Caden," she warned. "Your games will still be there after you finish your meal properly." In his great hurry, the unthinkable happened. Suddenly, Caden's face changed. He stopped chewing and his eyes went wide. A piece of food lodged in his throat. He couldn't breathe. His face turned red, and he began to panic. Ilka saw right away what was happening. Her heart hammering, she jumped up. But she didn't know how to perform the Heimlich maneuver. She didn't know how to help Caden. "Tatum, call 911. Ilka shouted. Her voice was steady, but Tatum just continued to watch cartoons. She didn't know that you could phone an emergency number with a locked phone. You don't need a PIN. She saw Caden making strange faces and Mom looking upset, but in her 6-year-old mind, it looked like everyday life. She didn't understand it was an emergency. She just continued watching her cartoon in peace. Ilka tried to stay calm. Caden gave his best and fought the situation with all his might. He wanted to stay alive. Ilka managed to reach for her phone and dial 911. She spoke clearly to the operator, telling them their address and what was happening. Suddenly, Caden gave one loud cough. He was finally breathing again. Soon, bright lights flashed outside. Paramedic Jace arrived with a friendly smile and a heavy orange medical bag. "You're a brave boy, Caden," Jace said, "and your mom did exactly the right thing by phoning us." Ilka realized she had to do something and decided to learn the Heimlich maneuver and take an emergency first aid course. When Dad got home later, he gave them all a big hug. He was relieved and glad everyone was safe. After the sirens faded and the house grew quiet, Caden felt grumpy, his throat still sore. He asked crossly, "Tatum, why didn't you help me?" He just sat there. Tatum started to cry. Ilka sat Tatum down and gave her a big hug. "It's okay to be sad and confused, Tatum," Ilka said gently. "Let me explain. An emergency is when someone is hurt or in danger. You didn't know what to do yet, but we can learn together." Ilka turned the scary moment into a mission. "First, you press 9, then 1, and then 1 again," she explained. They practiced saying their address. "If you stay calm and tell the responders everything you see, they will come quickly," Ilka encouraged. "They will guide you the whole way." Tatum practiced until she felt brave enough to be a helper. Caden watched them and realized he shouldn't be angry, seeing his little sister's tears. His anger melted away. He realized she hadn't ignored him to be mean. She just didn't know. He walked over and gave Tatum a giant hug. "I'm not mad anymore, Tatum," he said. "I forgive you. I'm sorry I was mean." Tatum felt a big weight lift off her heart. She hugged him back tightly, promising to be ready next time. That night,
Ilka tucked them in and opened their Bible. Caden, forgiving Tatum, is a lot like how Jesus forgives us, she said. She read Romans 10:9. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Just like the helpers were ready to save Caden today, Jesus saves us when we call on him, Ilka said. Jesus died on the cross to save us. With God's grace, we are saved through faith, the biggest gift God could ever give. The next morning, Caden and Tatum couldn't wait to tell Grandma Trudy and Aunt Felicia and all their other family and friends the good news of Jesus who saves and his forgiveness. Because God is so quick to forgive us, they learned to be quick to forgive each other. And Tatum, she now knew exactly what to do in an emergency. If you believe in your heart he's living in you, he died on the cross just to settle the score, so we don't have to